page 29, como encender el fuego de la esperanza. How to ignite the fire. Page 29. Page 34. Page 34. Kindness and compassion you give us every day. We praise your name, O God. We hear the words of Diana Leaf Christian tonight, friend of the community and a very fine researcher into community life. She's documented a number of communities, intentional communities, all around the world. And she has some good guidelines and reminders to make throughout the book. The book is called Creating a Life Together. Eco-villages and intentional communities, practical tools to grow. And the foreword is by Patch Adams. I don't know that I've heard it before. Oh, there it is. Let's read a little bit of Patch Adams and then we'll hear Diana's words herself. So this is from Patch Adams, who founded the Gesundheit Institute. I am a community founder, says Patch Adams. I knew when I entered medical school in 1967 that I would create an intentional community to offer low-cost medical care. I knew healthcare delivery was in big trouble, and as a nerd activist interested in cybernetics, I wanted to create a model that addressed the problems of care delivery. In order for healthcare delivery to be inexpensive, I thought staff should live in the community itself, and it would include farming and host of support facilities. I know the medicine I wanted to practice would helping simulate patients living vital and independent lives. Concern for the health of communities and society in general as much as of individuals and their families. I had read copious utopian and dystopian literature. I was sure I wanted to do this in an intentional community. So I visited, drumroll, Twin Oaks in 1969. Boy, I wish I could have seen Twin Oaks in 1969.
Right.
I visited Twin Oaks in 1969 and other communities as well. Just think if you were there in 1969, you might have visited us. All of which all fed my hunger to live this lifestyle, which I knew would be good for both staff and patient. I knew I would start a community when I graduated in 1971. We wrote up an 8-page paper with our first mission statement. The innocence of that document makes me smile today. Like any good nerd, I tried to find any literature to help people, to help guide me on how to make my community vision happen. I won't read to you the rest of it, but you can read it for yourself. That's interesting. I didn't realize you visited Twin Oaks. So the words I wanted to share with you from Diana Lee Christian herself is in chapter 4, and it's entitled Community Vision, What It Is, Why You Need It. And I thought we'd just pass it around, so I'll start, and then we can see how far we go. It was crisis time at a community that I'll call Willow Bend. This small community in the rural Midwest launched itself in the early 90s with no vision or mission or vision statement. Just to repeat that. Community launches itself in the early 90s with no vision and no vision statement. That means they had no shared expression of their desired future. No why we're here agreement that aligned community members and inspired them to work toward their shared aspirations. Then the bottom fell out. The bottom fell out of the market first for the wooden children's toys that they manufactured as a community. This was the primary community business. But note what she's saying. The primary community business is not the same as the vision or mission of a community. It's not the same. The business is not the vision. The business is a means, not the end. Overnight, the community lost half their annual income. Under severe financial strain, the members held long meetings to figure out what to do. Unfortunately, different willow benders had widely different ideas about their purpose for being a community. Pass the word. We're here to show people.
We're here to show people a low consumption lifestyle that works financially, says Tom. We've got to recoup our losses somehow. No way, exclaims Kathleen. We're just here to enjoy ourselves and not have to work for the man. We'll just eat beans for a while. How can you say that? Asks Sandy, incredulous. We're supposed to radicalize people. We're supposed to show that you don't have to compete so much and can share things equally and all get along.
Except they weren't getting along and were competing mightily themselves for the underlying basis of Willow Bend's reality. With no common vision, they had nothing to return to, no common touchstone of values, purpose, or aspirations about why their community life mattered, how it fit into the larger world. Because they used consensus decision-making, no majority of Willow Benders with the same vision could determine the vision for the whole group. On the surface, it looks like they were arguing about money, but they were actually expressing the inherent structural conflict of not all standing on the same ground. And unlike folks in forming community groups, people with different visions can't simply go their separate ways and start different communities. Willow Bend was their home, and no one could ask anyone else to leave because of their wrong vision. As the conflict grew intense, several people saw no way out and left the community. Now Willow Bend had two crises: not enough money and not enough people to carry out the tasks of their other community businesses.
I hope this true story illustrates why it's so important to establish why we're here as a basis for creating community, and why everyone in the community needs to be on the same page. Kat Kincaid, co-founder of Twin Oaks Community in Virginia, describes a similar circumstance. Once some friends of hers were appalled by what they read in the vision documents of a particular community. But when they met someone from that community whom they liked very much, they decided to visit and found everyone there to be friendly, warm, and charming. Figuring that actions speak louder than words, they decided to ignore the community's declared vision and values and join anyway.
But as Kat's friends lived there over the months, they found themselves increasingly at odds with the community's founders. While everyone was warm and courteous at first, the newcomers' values and goals weren't compatible with the community's, and soon they were embroiled in serious conflict over the direction of the community. Eventually, the dissension and the distrust grew so bitter that Kat's friends left the community, and so did several other members. Disillusioned by the bad blood generated by the power struggles over vision and values.
This left the group weak, angry, and exhausted, says Kat. It was a community tragedy and not an uncommon one. I've heard this same story more than once about other communities. So the first major task members of a forming community is to clarify and write down their vision and make sure they all agree on it. Some well-known, long-lived, apparently successful communities don't have and never had a common vision, or at least never wrote anything down. This can work, but in my opinion, it doesn't work well for long. Not having a common vision can blow a community apart when a major challenge or crisis occurs, or it can slowly erode everyone's vitality and well-being over the years as each conflict arising from different visions adds to the accumulation of resentment. A common vision is neither necessary nor sufficient for starting a new community. Since many have gotten by without one, and some that had one failed, observes community activist Tree Greason. But a common vision greatly increases the probability of success. If your group is going to all the trouble to start a community, can you afford not to give yourself the best possible chance?
Thank you. That's a good place to start. Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't realize that, first of all, Patch Adams visited Twin Oaks. And I didn't realize Twin Oaks played such a role in this chapter. So, any thoughts, immediate responses from that chapter?
It kind of makes clear it's important for at least the permanent members to be on the same page with the vision.
You also heard in it, it's important to vet newcomers to see if they match your vision and purpose.
Any other thoughts from the reading?
I don't know if you recall the conversation that we had about the vision in your town
Refresh
at
my
one time.
memory.
I had asked you what was the vision of this place in particular, and that was when you gave me the quote.
The quote. Which quote?
To welcome people into a beautiful sun prayer for that was what you said the vision was.
That quote.
Yes.
I remember. Yeah. Any other thoughts? So, a while ago, there was a group that came here from Nurturing Communities Network, NCN. And they were an interesting bunch. The women, many of the women wore blue bonnets, and they were of a kind of traditional Mennonite group. Not all of them, just many. And then there were women from Twin Oaks that came over too. And it was fascinating to see the mix of the more traditional, the more contemporary, and they had good conversations. All good conversations, respectfully. During their visit, I was asked by one of the members of the Nurturing Communities Network, what is the boat that floats? I didn't know that term. I hadn't thought in those terms. Boats floating. But they explained that in their decades-long experience of living in, creating, nurturing communities, intentional communities, there always is a boat that floats. Meaning that, I appreciate that, that there is one thing that sustains the community, that brings together the community, no matter what happens. And before I had a chance to answer their question, the person who was asking me answered it themselves. And they said, well, it seemed pretty clear that you're singing, you're praying every day, 3 times a day, is the boat that floats. Yeah, yes it is. No matter what, morning, midday, and evening, we pray. And it's not just an empty ritual, we hope, but it's an opening of the heart, a regular opening of our lives, really, to God, to each other, to the world, and that's the boat that floats. It's a nice boat, and it floats. So that whole thing, it's very sweet. Just kidding. So yeah, Diana Lee Christian is making a very, very vital point. Vision is necessary, a uniting vision. And the thing that we've discovered and we're continually discovering is the clarity of that vision is critical. We sometimes think it's clear, but it isn't. And somehow or other, it needs to be renewed and made more clear. And it's I think it's a human nature thing. You know, after a while, speaking of Twin Oaks kind of let go of their original vision, and that's fine, you know, if you're going to do it. But I think one of the things I think is going to come out of the current, whatever you want to call it, dynamic conversation at Twin Oaks is a new vision. I bet you a new one. Something new is going to emerge there, that it's going to unite people, because right now there's a tendency to not be united because there's no common vision. Something's going to emerge there, I predict, that will unite the people of Twin Oaks. And then Patch Adams will come back and visit, and Diana Lee Christian will write a new book. We'll see. I think it's a great reminder. If we apply it on an individual level, in other words, what is your vision for your life, is another vital question. There's a beautiful text in the Hebrew Bible that says, without a vision the people perish. And I think that can be seen in many ways on an individual basis as well as a corporate, communal basis. Brother Tim and I were talking today about various things, and one of the things that came up in my mind was, how do people in intense suffering cope? And they cope with hope. They cope with vision. All you have to do is talk to anybody from Gaza, and they have hope. It's not a bland, it's not a naive generalization. There's great hope there in the midst of the genocide. There is vision because they've been enduring it for decades. And it's an amazing, inspiring reality that in the midst of intense suffering, there can be hope, there can be vision that encourages people to get up in the morning and do what needs to be done. So, it's Diana Lee Christian. Thank you, Diana Lee Christian, wherever you are. We'll close with a song. It's almost done, Sita. Almost.
My love, my dove, my beautiful one, arise and come with me. Arise, my love, my dove, my beautiful one, arise and come with me. Arise, my love, my dove, my beautiful one, arise and come with me. One more time. Arise, my love, my beautiful one, arise and come with me. For now the winter is past, and the rain is over and gone, and flowers appear
we give you thanks for your great love that calls us, each of us, to arise, to come and follow, to learn the ways of love. May it be so.